if you omit this, it will do the entire binary or
Okay, so
whatever.
you are actually, narrowing down the scope to that function only.
Exactly. Because most of the times that's only matter.
Right,
Otherwise,
right. Entire
will be
program we
like
don't care about, right?
exactly, and the log will also be huge.
Got it,
The
got it,
resultant log.
got it. Yeah. So
So
we need very
let's
specific. Okay.
simply see what are the options that I have made available throughout this program, and then we'll go back and see what how these things are implemented using PIN APIs. So the similar output file in where you want to put your logs into.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Then I flag specifies if you want to trace instructions. If you omit these flags, I'm not instrumenting instructions. B is like if you want to trace basic block and dump the context, the CPU context at that particular point. Calls, if you want to just look into the calls which are calls that are being executed inside that particular binary.
Okay.
Thread is thread activity. Module is just a simple way of telling you this module is loaded or this module is unloaded. So module load unload activity.
Got it.
Syscall is kind of dumping executed syscalls with arguments and xdump.
Mm-hmm.
And these options allow you to inspect a memory content in exact in a manner of typical hex dump, text hex dump.
Got it.
So now the main important thing here is what to trace, because tracing the entire application can be a daunting task because
Right,
you'll have millions of instructions, right,
right,
throughout your exe and DLL shared objects.
right.
So you want to narrow your scope, as you said earlier. So I'm narrowing down it to a very specific module. If you omit this flag, it will use the main module or the main exe.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say if you want to trace a very specific DLL or shared object, you can specify it with FM command line option. And within that module also you have facility or the option to use very specific range of offsets. So as I said, I'm going to only trace this function, or maybe even going back to this basic block, I can do that, passing it the range of trace points.
Got it.
So we'll see how things actually work. So this is like the application I have compiled it. The core application which I've just opened, shown you the source code
Mm-hmm.
and opened it in IDA. And we're going to trace between this function only, because there are other code also, like this thing, but we don't want to go into the other functions. We
Functions.
just focus on the main function and the main function boundary only.
Got it. Makes sense. Yeah.
So let's see how this can tell you the different activity. We'll see one by one.
Yeah.
So let's say you just want to see which are models are being loaded or unloaded.
Hmm.
So you can see the main module loaded at this offset and is ending at this offset, right?
Got it.
This is LD and this is libc. Similarly, if you want to go and try out different threads, also instructions, you will see the model loaded activity and the executing instructions. The executing instructions formatted in the way of thread ID, because at a time we have multiple threads running, right?
Right. Got it.
We need to understand which thread is executing the current function.
Got it. Since
And
it is
if
main,
you,
right? We are that thread zero is only doing it.
yes.
Got it.
So right now, what we have seen is 5A0. Sorry, the offset. Okay, we haven't provided any offset. That's why.
It
Uh,
has traced everything.
yeah, the trace you can say is of the entire
Huge.
binary.
Okay. But
And
that
if
also
you
it did it pretty quickly, Chris, which means, it is quite performance effective, I believe.
yeah, actually, I have used this on very serious applications like browser interpreters and
Oh, nice.
real
Got it.
world software.
Got it.
It
So this is
works well,
pretty
but
fast.
the problem is with the huge execution. The resultant log file will be huge, and it will be way too difficult to go through and navigate through that log file to
Okay, got
extract
it.
things you want.
Got it.
So we I mostly do this filter offset oriented
Got it. You
analysis.
actually apply a filter with the offset. Got it.
Exactly. And also this calls also sometimes helps you to understand which are the calls being invoked internally throughout the application. See the calls here, I'm not specifically saying hooking the input table or external call for that matter. Why? Because that's okay. I mean, going through a different library, but within the executable, if you want to understand the flow, let's say a function got called in B function, then C function, then D function. That understanding can also be derived from this trace. I mean,
Okay.
this called trace.
This tool. Got it.
Yeah, and this binary is very small. That's why it's quickly no executing. But
Right.
even real world softwares also it's very efficient to do sort of doing this sort of analysis.
Got it.
So let's see here. When you say you want calls, the call on particular let's say IP to the target. If target have any symbols associated with them, then will be put. And then the argument I'm considering right now 3 arguments to function, but you
Okay.
can extend it to include no more.
Got it.
If you want to dump those uh, parameters, the memory, you just add a checks argument, and you should have no data. Let's say this call is made, and now these are the 2 pointers that seems okay, legit pointers, right? And you want to see okay what was at that memory location when this
Okay. If you
function was
dereference that pointer, what data you get? Got it.
uh, this content will be printed in a very like uh, hexadecimal text
Right.
manner.
Got it. Hex dump it will get. Got it.
Yes. So this way you can actually get a pretty good understanding of typical functions, what data it is operating upon, and also the use cases like your data propagation. Let's say you pass some data and then this data is getting passed through different function. So you want to understand what part of data is going where, right?
Got it.
That analysis can also be derived from such trace log.
Excellent. Yeah. Got it.
The next is obviously our filter offsets. We'll remove this call thread and module activity. Uh, let's say filter offset, and then filter offset range is like our 5AA to
6.
6DC, right?
6 5
Okay.
6 5.
So 6 5A.
Yeah.
Okay. 6 5A to
6 DD.
6
DD.
DC. Sorry.
DC. Okay.
So it will only trace through that range, and when you see the logs, you can actually disable this hex dump if you find this too annoying.
Okay.
But most of the time it will tell you what data you are like operating upon. Like in our example, we were passing, or let's say in this particular, we pass this command line argument, right? Foobar
Right.
dodd.
Mm-hmm.
So you can see that okay, this data is being referred at this instruction. 6A1.
Got it.
It is sorry, not this instruction, but this instruction. Here we are loading byte pointer at RAX point to this location, this D56, and D56 content are dumped here,
Okay.
right? So this way you can actually, you'll get a more know-how about what data that particular function is operating upon.
Right, got it. It obviously gives more visibility, I mean, better than static analysis. Right, got it. So
Exactly. And
parallelly,
the
you can
second,
tally those logs.
yes, and that way you can actually speed up your reversing tasks because you now get dynamic, perspective of what this particular function might be doing.
Got it, got it.
The secret sauce, the second string is being referred at this location, MoveX byte pointer at RX, and RX is uh, this thing 56264.
Got it, got it. That is very useful tool. I mean, I must tell you, Chris, this is an excellent creation. Yeah.
Yes, so basically that is more of it. Now it's also one more facility. I didn't need it, but I just added
You
for the
added
sake
that
of
feature.
it.
Okay.
Just Syscall. And you can actually see which are syscalls which are being invoked and the parameters.
Oh, nice. Syscall 05, Syscall 09.
But I haven't mapped these syscall numbers to actual what syscall it means because it will be very platform specific, and then I have to add
Okay.
for Windows and Linux also.
Okay, so this code directly anyone can port it to Windows, right? So
Yeah, I just need to
so in
actually
that case, we'll get that SSDT entries. That's all.
yes.
Okay, okay.
And here also I've just considered 3 arguments, but you can actually extend it. It's quite easy
Oh,
to.
awesome, awesome. Excellent tool, Krish. Okay,
And with this hexdump, HX argument, it should be able to also dump the kind of. Right now it is crashing for some input where I'll see and fix it.
okay.
But you can see that okay, if this pointer is being referred, this pointer points to some entries like this. So this is also quite useful in order to inspect syscall contents or analyze what syscalls are being invoked and what
Got
are
it,
they
got it.
basically the parameters dynamically.
Excellent. Yeah, okay, Chris. So it was really great. Thank you so much. So I just have one question here. So would you like to make this code open source or something like that, or you can keep it secret? We'll cut it, otherwise not a problem. Uh, just let me know if you want to, make it open source. Then we'll just add it in the video only.
Okay,
Otherwise,
I think I have already the part of source code online, so I have just made a few improvement on formatting and all,
okay,
and making more of Windows and Linux पे जो compile हो जाए.
got it, got
So
it.
I'll be uploading this to GitHub. I can link it.
Okay, absolutely. You just share. I'll add it in the video description. That will be great. Yeah. Okay, so now Chris, just we just looked at the output, the tool that you built. I believe lot of users can directly use this tool with those argument that you have demonstrated. But if anyone is interested to get into the code, right? Can you just briefly show us the code flow, how you have developed it?
Yeah, so basically it's a very small tool. You don't need too much of rocket science to understand it.
Mhm.
So what we are adding instrumentation on, I've seen those instrumentation functions, right? So we are adding instrumentation right now on module load unload activities in order to report module load and unload event. Similarly, if thread is a thread logging is enabled, then we are adding similar instrumentation on thread start and thread finish function.
Okay,
And finally, if syscalls are enabled, then we are adding instrumentation on syscall functions also, syscall
okay,
entry and exit
okay.
functions. And the main important function here is the instrumentation function on trace, because on trace we are doing some analysis to understand and
Right. This is
add
going to be the most heavy one, I believe.
yeah.
Okay.
So let's go and see. On trace we are actually looking if we want to include trace within the interested range only, as we have seen the
Got
filter
it. Yeah.
trace filters, right?
Hmm.
So this function tells us if we want to actually have this trace analyzed. Then we iterate through each basic blocks within this trace, and if we want to dump the basic blocks and the context, then we can instrument this basic block call. Otherwise, we iterate throughout every instruction within this basic block and then add a next instrumentation on every instruction within that particular
Got it.
basic block.
Got it.
And if we are actually instrumenting calls, as I've seen, I have a different function here to instrument those calls also. So on instruction here, similar, if we want to have those memory reads and writes, then these are the functions which are added to instrumentation on every memory read and write that is happening as part of that instruction, right?
Got it.
And then we are actually printing assembly and opcodes and the context at that particular location. We need this call
Okay.
log instruction.
Log instructions. Okay.
And these are like the function pointers, analysis functions, you can say.
Right. It will just,
So
you know,
every
it's
instruction
just
I can,
callbacks.
yeah,
Based on that, it will redirect you to that. It will. Got it.
exactly.
Okay.
And most of the other code is okay. One more thing. So on module load, right? Module load, we are printing activity as well as, you know, setting up the filters. So filters are like whatever the offset filters we have passed at command and argument in order to strip down our analysis to the only particular code blocks.
Got it. Got it. That makes sense. Okay. Yeah.
And most of the other part is only accessing runtime information.
Okay.
From
Logging,
current
dumping
and then
things.
logging, dumping, yes.
Yeah. Got it. Got it. Okay. That is excellent, Chris. I think, you know, that gives us a lot of clarity about pin. Whoever never used pin before, so I think it is going to be a very good, you know, beginner's guide to Intel pin tool. So thank you so much for your time, Chris. Yeah, I really appreciate, you know, you took out time from your busy schedule to, you know, share all these things with us. Thank you so much. Please, and one more thing, just if you are, if possible, just, you know, upload your latest code to your GitHub repository. I'll add it in the video description.
Sure. I'll be uploading this to my GitHub and will share the URL with you.
Absolutely. The video will be up in maybe, you know, after I do some editing and all. I'll post it, you know, maybe in next 1 or 2 days. So yeah, Chris, thank you so much once again, brother. Yeah. I'll talk to you offline. That was a great session. Yeah, I must tell.
Thanks, Devashish. Bye.
Bye bye. Good night.
Good night.